Bitcoin now sits at over $100,000. If you bought Bitcoin 5 years ago, would you now be rich? What's really strange is nobody's talking about it. Now, for most of us, we're not going to be able to afford $100,000 to buy one Bitcoin. So is it still worth it? Should you still buy Bitcoin in 2025? So in June of 2020, Bitcoin was valued at $9,500. Now, 5 years later, in June 2025, we're currently sitting on over $100,000 per Bitcoin. And that's more than 10 times growth in just 5 years. Now, if you had invested £1,000 back then, you'd be sitting on over £11,000 right now. No trading, no leverage, no gimmicks, just holding. On screen now is the price appreciation of Bitcoin over the last 5 years. Now we're going to look at gold. Gold has been one of the greatest investments for investors and individuals over the last 100 years. Ever since the gold rush, everybody has flocked to it, mined it, and sold it and stored it as value. Now, in June of 2020, gold was around $1,750 per ounce. Now, with the recent explosion of gold, gold is sitting over $3,000 per ounce. Now, that's amazing returns for an asset that's been around for years. Now, the same $1,000 or £1,000 into gold in 2020 is now worth $1,900. Now let's look at property. Now in mid-2020, the average UK house price was around £230,000. Now today it's closer to £285,000 for the same building, which is around a 26% return over a 5-year period. Now many investors say that we should have bought property years ago and now we'd be millionaires. And yes, of course, there are some instances of that. But what they don't take into consideration are the fees, deposit, stamp duty, legal fees. All of these add up. And that's just money spent to buy the house. But with Bitcoin, you can buy really low amounts. You don't need £20,000 for a deposit. You could simply buy £50 if you wanted. But the real takeaway is this. The people in crypto, the ones that win, are the ones that stay in it for the long period of time. There's a fact. 99% of individuals that have held Bitcoin for 5 years are in profit. Just think about that. Every single individual is in profit, bar a very small amount. Now, what sets them aside is that they just held through the noise. They didn't panic sell, they didn't panic buy. They just bought, held for 5 years, and they're in profit. So where can Bitcoin go from here? One of the most famous Bitcoin bulls, Michael Saylor, the co-founder of MicroStrategy, has some strong opinions. Saylor believes that the potential price of Bitcoin is massive. On screen now, you're going to see that essentially he believes that it's digital gold, a scarce asset with a fixed supply of 21 million coins. Michael Saylor argues that as companies and institutions start to adopt Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin will go up. Now, demand will ultimately increase, but because of the fixed supply, there aren't any more Bitcoin than 21 million. It's not like with gold or real estate where you can build more houses or mine more gold. You can't get more Bitcoin. Saylor has famously projected that Bitcoin could reach 49 million per coin by 2045. To put that into perspective, an investment into 0.5 of a Bitcoin could make you a millionaire in 5 years. Now, let's say it doesn't hit that bull case. Let's say it's worth 5 million per coin by 2045. If you bought Bitcoin today, that's an average of £92,000 in price appreciation every single year. No other asset has ever competed with Bitcoin. Now, if the past is anything to go by, this is a massive opportunity for you and for me. Now, nobody can guarantee the price of Bitcoin. Nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody knows where the price of Bitcoin is going to be in 5 or 10 years' time. But Saylor's thesis is simple. Scarcity plus adoption equals increased growth. And if you're like me and you believe the narrative is correct, the next 5 to 10 years could be a really interesting time for investors. But is it too late? Have we missed the Bitcoin boat? Bitcoin's over 100,000. And I don't know about you, but I certainly can't afford to buy one in whole. Not necessarily. So Bitcoin moves in cycles. Every 4 years, we have what's called a halving. And what that means is that the miners that secure the Bitcoin network, their reward gets cut in half. And historically, over the 12 to 18 months that precede that, Bitcoin has hit new all-time highs. 5 years ago, institutions, investment companies were laughing at Bitcoin. It was a fad, it was a joke. Oh, it'll never take off. And now these are the same people that are using their own technology and building on-ramps to Bitcoin. It's in ETFs, it's in pension funds. Countries own it. The game has changed, and it's changed forever. Here's a thought. In 2020, most people ignored Bitcoin at $9,000. They thought it was an expensive scam. Now today, those same people are watching it skyrocket above 100,000. They're sat at the sidelines just watching it, thinking it's too expensive. Where will you be 5 years from now? Will you be the one that sits by the sideline and says, I should have bought back in 2025 when it's only $100,000? Let me know in the comments. When did you first hear about Bitcoin? And do you wish you'd started earlier?